Well, good Sunday morning to you. Chris Hare here, the world champion crypto cowboy. Out of the norm for a video on Sunday morning, but Texas is closed. We've got about 5 inches of sleet on the ground. It's 12 degrees, so we're not having church this morning. So I figured I'd come on out and get you guys a video. Let's figure out what those altcoins are doing. It's been an absolute mess. I have some big concerns, especially the way Bitcoin's setting up. You can see that video that I recorded yesterday. It'll break that down and tell you exactly what I think. But we're going to get into it today. We're going to go over Ethereum, Solana, XRP, the big ones. We're going to see what they're doing, how it's going to get there. So stick around to the end of the video. There's a lot to go over. There's a lot of information in here. You're not going to want to miss any of it. I'm going to start off with a little news. We talked yesterday that Canada is about to have a tariff problem with President Trump, saying that if they do their deal with China, he'll introduce 100% tariffs. Now we've got a little more bad news coming in. I think it's setting us up for something. Odds of a January U.S. government shutdown spiked to 77%. Foreign Bureau posted this. Polymarket traders now see about 77% chance the U.S. government could shut down again before January 31st. Comments from lawmakers and stalled budget talks push odds up sharply in just a day. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but we need to pay attention. It's on the table. There's been quite a bit of bad news come out over the weekend. And we know what happened last weekend when we had tariff talk and things started looking shaky. The markets went down on Tuesday morning and it was ugly. It was bloody all week, but we'll get into an altcoin season index. We'll figure out what's going on. We're still staying flat here in these 30s and 40s. We had that big spike up, came back down, dropped back down, but now we're flat. And we've been in this 30s and 40s for a good while now. We're not really dropping off, but also I feel like we're on a floor as well, so it's hard to say exactly what's going on. We'll look at the liquidation heat maps for Bitcoin and Ethereum, kind of figure out what the market makers are thinking right now because they track liquidity. They go after your short and long-term trades. That's why we use a liquidation heat map. That's why the market seems so manipulated, because they are. But on a Bitcoin liquidation heat map, we've got about almost $11 billion in short trades on the books now, guys, with about 5.26 billion in longs. So the imbalance is clearly to the upside. If this is a bear market, I don't think they go after it right now. There's some pockets of liquidity down below us. Maybe that's what they're trying to set up. So it's kind of a mixed bag right now. Looking at Ethereum, it's kind of the same way. Quite a bit more liquidity down below us, all the way down to about $1,600. Cumulative totals on Ethereum, guys, $6.68 billion worth of shorts on the books compared to about 6.34. So we're right in the middle. I talked about this yesterday in my Bitcoin video that we were in the middle. I hate being in middles. They're hard to trade, and it's why I usually sit out when things like this are going on. There's just not a clear mode of direction, but we do have some indicators of maybe what's going on. We'll start off with Bitcoin dominance. This is a Bitcoin hourly chart. But we'll start off with Bitcoin dominance because it's going to be relative. And the reason I watch this is this tells us the percentage of money that's in altcoins versus Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's holding and driving the bus at about 59.72%. You can see we had this big uptrend where dominance just picked up all the way through the bull market, and then it dropped. The wick here is from Flash Friday. It went up to about 63.5%, and then we've dropped back down. We have came down to this retracement area about 58 to 57%. And now we're just waffling around trying to figure out exactly what's going on. I'm going to make this a little bigger so we can kind of see this and talk about the plan here. We've had a really hard time getting over this 200 smooth moving average. You can see we're rejecting it again, but we're currently trying to come back over it. What do I think is going to happen here? Well, one of two things. We tried to get up to this 382, rejected it after the wick went up all the way to the golden zone up top. One of two things happens here. Everything kind of looks like it's setting up for a dump, especially Bitcoin. Maybe we come back up to here and then we drop down. The other option is we lose this 200, come on down 58 to 57%. But the extensions sit all the way down at 51 to 47%. So that's my big question. The question is, do we come up and make alts tank a little more by shooting up to about 62 to 64%? Or do we come down here? It's kind of a middle, just like the Ethereum liquidation heat map was showing. That's why I have concerns. Now, all these charts are posted in the crypto school, guys. You'll find a link to that in my description. Been posting signals quite often over there. We haven't posted any right now because we're waiting, but there's an opportunity for that. But if you really want to learn to trade and invest, crypto school is the place to be. All right, let's look at the DXY. This is the US dollar, trying to figure out what's going on. Typically, when the dollar drops, crypto goes up. When the dollar goes up, crypto goes down because it's good for risk assets. And you can see the dollar is dropping significantly, has over the past day, all the way down to 97 to 97.8 cents. Question is, I have this box marked here. I had it marked because I thought it might be a bounce zone to come up to about 99.4 to 99.8. If we do that, I think that's a pullback for altcoins. But if we keep going down 95 to 93, then I think we may be setting up for some kind of upside. Let's get into the charts now. Let's figure out what these coins are doing. We'll start off with Ethereum on a daily. We have lost a lot of moving averages. These are all super strong support until they're not. Then they're super strong resistance. We just lost over the past couple of days the monthly 50 simple moving average. That's significant, guys. But what I'm watching here and what I'm not just making a move to pile in short and plan on a bear market is we have broken out of this descending channel that we set back all the way back around the 1st of October. We've broken out of it and we found support. We keep finding support on it. As long as we can stay above about $2,600, I think we're okay. We have lost this trend line. That's concerning to me. 29 to 2,700. You know, if we come down, 27.93 is probably your target. If we lose this golden retracement zone, I think 24.14 to 21.45 is on the table. All eyes are on this bottom. If we can't find some kind of support between here and 26.26, I think that's where we head. If we find support, there is a lot of resistance to get over, and it's going to take a pretty good feat and pretty big news to get there. But I think $4,000 to $4,400 would be on the table. That's kind of where I am with Ethereum right now. It's really a wait and see to see if we can find a floor. If not, we're going down, guys. Looking at Solana, it's kind of set up the same way. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. We've been retracing since back in October, but we found this floor. Everything's kind of breaking out of these descending channels and finding support. Solana is no different, but we have lost this trend that we were trying to develop here, and now that's concerning. I do have a trend here marked at about $125. If we can't bounce from there, I think it probably gets ugly, just like Ethereum looked. And then I think you're looking at around $50. If we can find support, if we can find some kind of way to bounce here, I think we work our way up. The weekly 50 simple moving average sits at about $174. That's going to be your major resistance. But look at this, guys. You've lost your daily 50. You've lost your 4-hour 50s. You've lost your daily 50 smooth moving average. You've lost your weekly 50 simple moving average. And you've lost your monthly 50 simple moving average. I think that's ugly. We could probably keep eyes around $94 for a bottom, but 52 is also on the table. And like I said, if we can bounce, then maybe we can get up to $175 to $200. XRP, no different. It's got the big wick from Flash Friday. That's what I've been watching. I've said since it happened way back in October that market makers like to fill out about 80% of these, 50 to 80% of these wicks. We filled out a little of it, but maybe we're coming down to fill out the rest. $1.58 sits at the bottom of the 786. If we lose that, guys, 89 to 40 cents is on the table. If we can find support and start working over these heavy resistances, the daily golden zone sits at about 274 to 313. I think that's where you go. Like I said, it's in the middle. Things are just ugly right now. There's a lot of indecision. There's a lot of uncertainty in the news right now. It's hard to read and tell you exactly where it's going to go. I do tell you that charts dictate news, and if I was a betting man going off of that, I feel like we're probably headed down, guys. The bad news is kind of piling up. We're at what is now a resistance that used to be support. We need to watch this really close and decide what's going to happen next. I know it looked really good the other day, but charts change. We say that. I tell you that all the time. It could change tomorrow, and that's exactly what's happening here. Tomorrow it may look better, and we may start thinking that maybe there's an opportunity for upside. It's just a mess right now, and I don't think anybody can tell you where we're really going to go. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. Go ahead and check out the new store that's in the YouTube videos. There's a lot of cool things there, including Bitcoin caps and some crypto cowboy gear. You're sure going to want to check that out. But go ahead and like and subscribe, tap the bell notification, and leave us a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and I really enjoy hearing from you people. But I'll circle around later with some more videos. We'll do a Bitcoin video tonight. Don't forget to visit Super Sunday today, coming up about 12 o'clock Texas time on the Crypto School YouTube channel. We'll see you over there here in just a few hours. Chris Hare, the World Champion Crypto Cowboy. I really appreciate you guys watching. See you down the road.